Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called A Few Hours to Decorate. Several years ago, I was working for an organization, and they were having their annual holiday decorating competition between the different departments. There were a couple of departments that basically took turns winning every year, because a few of the staff there went absolutely nutty with decorating. The departments gave a small budget toward this event, but a few staffers from those two departments put in their own money on top of the department funds and just created some insane, over-the-top displays. I saw pics from a few years ago. Some of them were very cool, but also probably took a few staffers a few days to set up and probably cost at least $500 or more for decorations. That's not counting the staff hours that went into it. So, my department had its own new office that year. In previous years, we had been in a small area behind another department. Some people didn't even know we were there, but that year we were in a nice office space and on the ground floor. So my executive director decides we are gonna compete. I think she just wanted to show off to her boss. So she tells me, since you'll be working in the office working this weekend, you can make a good start on decorating the office for the competition. I will be in the office this weekend, but that's because I'll be working on these projects. Remember, we need to be in a good place with these projects before the new year. Well, no reason you can't do both. Spend a few hours decorating and the rest working. I had only planned to be in the office for about 4 to 5 hours anyway, so a few hours decorating wouldn't leave me much time to devote to the projects. I like to get these projects to a good place before our holiday. I'm also not much of a decorator. I moved 14 times in about 17 years. I think it destroyed any desire I may have had to decorate. Are you refusing to help your coworkers with this? Refusing to help coworkers was a phrase she pulled out most any time someone pushed back on her ideas. She came from the business world to a different industry and wanted to incorporate business ideas that didn't always work. Nope, I'll try to spend some time decorating then. That weekend, I stopped at a dollar store and bought several rolls of wrapping paper and put it on the department credit card. When I went into the office, I spent about 2 or 3 hours wrapping everything I could think of that was a stable object. Wrapped most of our desks, our filing cabinets, some bookshelves, some end tables we had in the front office area, basically making them unusable. Someone would have to break through the wrapping paper and ruin the decoration to get into their desk, or the filing cabinets, or the bookshelves. Everyone spent the next week not being able to functionally do some of their work, because they couldn't get into their desks or filing cabinets. Our office had a very easy week right before the holiday. We didn't even place in the competition, and I heard Boss Lady got scolded the next month by her boss, because we were behind on the projects. The next story is called Just Clean Up. Shortly after graduating high school, I began working at the Clown Man fast food chain. My first few shifts, I was shadowing a trainer, as she was teaching me how to run the front. She clearly would have rather been anywhere else. Once the rush of customers died down, and I no longer needed to be at the register, I asked her what my task should be. She said I could clean and organize the front counter. I cleaned off the counter pretty quickly, as I had already been doing that between customers. So I asked her what else I could do. She rolled her eyes and said, "If you see something dirty, clean it." Then she walked away to chat with some coworkers. The lobby in front of me was a mess with overflowing trash cans, so I began emptying them and taking them to the back. The lobby was L-shaped, so there was a side that was out of view of the front register. Once I had emptied all the front area cans, I ran to the other side. I had emptied 2 of those trash cans, then rounded the corner to find my trainer at the register with a customer. As soon as she saw me, she looked angry and asked, "Where were you?" I showed her the trash and she told me to wait in the back for her. A moment later, she appears with a fire under her, saying, "You are not supposed to abandon your station. "What were you doing?" As I was freshly 18 at the time, I meekly told her, "You told me to clean whatever was dirty." She was apparently very offended and told me I needed to drop the attitude, then stormed off to tattle to the manager. It took a moment to collect myself, as I was on the verge of angry tears. Then I made my way back to the front register. The trainer was off to the side, talking to co-workers and the manager, clearly complaining about me. As soon as she saw me, she shot me some icy daggers. And then the manager left her to come to talk to me. The manager was nice enough and just said, "For the future, if there are no customers, clean the front counter, even if it's already clean, so you can be there for customers." I thanked her for telling me. In the 4 months of my employment there, I was never scheduled at the same time as that trainer again, until one of my last shifts. I got hired at a government job, so I was very excited to start making some decent money. During one of my last shifts, I guess the trainer had heard I was leaving. She came up to me and not so subtly condescendingly said, "Leaving us so soon, are we?" I played dumb and said, "Yeah, I'm so excited to start working at this new job. It will be a nice increase in income." And the look of angry jealousy that spread across her was priceless. The last story is called Dr. Idiot. I was a senior in high school when all of a sudden I got sick at school and had to be sent home. Because my car was in the shop, Mom had to come get me. It's about 9:30 AM when this happened. As we are driving up a very busy street, we see two 7 to 8-year-old kids. We'll call them Frank and Zelda, trying to cross. Worried, Mom pulls over to see what's going on. "Kids, are you guys okay? What are you two doing here?" Dr. Idiot said we couldn't come to school early, so he sent us home. Now, Mom is very familiar with Dr. Idiot. He was the principal at the elementary school my younger brother was attending at the time. My brother, Mark, was going through some behavioral issues at the time, and Mom was commonly called to the office, to the point they were on a first-name basis. Not that he allowed her to use his first name, because I have a doctorate in education, so it's Dr. Idiot. So in other words, he was an entitled idiot. There was a gas station 10 feet away, so Mom tells Frank and Zelda to meet us there. We pulled in, got some water for the kids as it was a hot day, and Mom calls Dr. Idiot's cell phone. "This is Dr. Idiot. Hi, this is Mark's mom. I have 2 kids here named Frank and Zelda, and they say they were sent home early. Yes, their parents dropped them off at 6 AM because they had to work. Something about mandatory overtime. Of course, we are not a daycare, so I just told the kids to go home and wait for the bus." "Are you kidding me? We are 5 miles away from the school. They walked all that way. It's a wonder nothing happened. What are you going to do about it? Call the cops?" And with that, he hung up. Mom was absolutely floored, but she decided to give Dr. Idiot a nice dose of reality. At the time, we lived in a small town. How small? So small that sometimes the chief of police would have to walk the beat. And that day, he happened to be a block or so away from the gas station. When he got the call, he arrived, got the whole story from not only Frank and Zelda, but from Mom and me. And being a father of 2 elementary-aged kids himself, he was angry. He looked at Mom and said, "It's time I have some words with Dr. Idiot." The chief of police drove Frank and Zelda to the school in the squad car, which they were super excited about. Personally escorted them to their class, and then marched to Dr. Idiot's office and proceeded to tear him a new one, telling Dr. Idiot that he'd help the parents press charges on him. From that day on, Dr. Idiot allowed Frank and Zelda to be at the school early, on the days their parents had mandatory overtime. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.